These past two nights, the Marlins have had big fun with the homer. 3 in New York in a 6-0 win over the Mets. And 2 more last night in D.C. Everybody digs the long ball. Fireworks tonight. We'll see in our nation's capital. Marlins and Nats. In our nation's capital, Miami tries to make it 2 in a row over the Nationals, who are in desperation mode trying to catch the Mets. Nationals Park, where last night the ball was flying out. Yeah, everybody digs the long ball, don't they? Rich Waltz along with Tommy Hutton. But I'll tell you what, tonight the long ball is going to be tough to see. What a pitching matchup. Let's start with Jose Fernandez. Back on the mound, he was brilliant in his return. What do you expect tonight?
You know, this is one of the primo matchups in baseball tonight. Jose Fernandez has always pitched well against this Nationals club. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs last time out. I expect a little deeper in the game, and I know Jose expects that. Believe it or not, in his 5 career starts against Washington, he's never faced them here at Nationals Park. They've all been in Miami.
So Jose Fernandez facing these Nationals, and you're right, good numbers, but never here in D.C. Is that a factor?
Nah, I think he'll be ready for it. He knows how to pitch against this ball club. On the other hand, they have some veteran hitters. Maybe they'll change their approach.
All right, for the Marlins. Hello, Max Scherzer. My goodness, was he dominant against the Fish last week.
Well, these are two guys. It's really interesting. Scherzer has had 4 starts just this year against the Marlins. 3-1 with a 2.79 ERA. He's aggressive. You got to swing early. He's going to throw strikes. Max Scherzer tonight makes his 30th start of the season for the 7th straight year.
2 absolute bulldogs on the mound. Both aces. Jose Fernandez, Max Scherzer. Miami is hot. The Nationals are desperate. We start it next. Scherzer, one of the great strikeout pitchers in baseball. And he takes aim at the Marlins. The Nationals and the Marlins, game 2. The Fish are hot. They've won 12 of their last 16, including 3 in a row on this road trip. D. Gordon goes after the first pitch, which is brought to you by Pinch a Penny. And the count is 0-1. Gordon, Ichiro, and Christian Yelich in a Marlins lineup that was taken apart about an hour 15 before game time. And a liner into right field. That's a base hit for D. Gordon, who had a couple of hits last night. And so the Fish off to a nice start. Here's the lineup. Martin Prado's wrist sore from last night. He was a late scratch. That moved Ichiro to the 2 spot, dropped Yelich to the 3 spot. Bohr in the cleanup spot has homered his last 2 nights. Marcell Ozuna is in center. Derek Dietrich at third base. JT Realmuto does the catching. Miguel Rojas is at short. And Jose Fernandez hits ninth. Look at D. Gordon on the road trip, and he adds to it with a base hit there. Now Ichiro and Scherzer with Gordon at first. Ichiro goes after the first pitch and pops it up. And Anthony Rendon is there, and he makes the catch.
This is a night, Rich, you're not going to see me get on first pitch swinging, because you have a guy who throws a lot of strikes. And we've seen 2 hitters go up there. Ichiro didn't fare well, but D. Gordon got himself a base hit. Here's the defense, brought to you by BMW. Matt Dendecker gets the start. He's in left. Harper moves over to center. Worth goes over to right. Escobar, Desmond, Rendon, and Clint Robinson in the infield. Jose Lobaton does the catching.
We saw Max Scherzer the last time he started with that lob throw to first. When he makes just a courtesy move, he barely nudges it over to first base. But if you count on that throw right there, Tommy Hutton, as a base stealer, he'll get you, because he'll do the same move and all of a sudden throw a 90-mile-an-hour strike on the bag.
Yeah, be careful.
Gordon swiped his 52nd base last night. Yelich knocked out 2 hits. Both were sharp shots right up the middle. Crowd still getting settled here in D.C. And Yelich, who had a great batting practice, he put the ball up in the seats with regularity.
That's because he was hitting in the group with Justin Bohr.
Actually, he was hitting behind Ichiro, who does that regularly. Yelich drives it right center field and deep. Harper back at the track, at the wall, and it's gone. Just like batting practice, Christian Yelich calls his shot. After his BP, he went to Frank Menachino and said, "I'm going deep tonight." And he does, and it's 2-0.
Very similar to last night. Martin Prado with a 2-run shot in the first inning. Christian Yelich hitting third in the lineup tonight with Prado not in there. And Yelich goes deep for the 7th time this year.
Well, the long ball arrives again. A 2-run homer last night in the first by Martin Prado, and a 2-run homer by Christian Yelich here tonight. See, and Realmuto was there. You see the smile on JT's face. He was there when Yelich told everybody, "You know what? I'm going deep. I feel it."
Well, remember, Yelich started the night last night 0 for 2, then had singles his next 2 times up. So he felt confident. That's half the hitting. It's just going up there and feeling confident.
Or now with 18 home runs. A 3-run shot yesterday. And Scherzer gets him with an off-speed pitch for the 2nd out of the first.
We talked about Max Scherzer. We're going to check the scouting report on this right-hander. Challenges hitters. He's given up 25 home runs now. When he keeps the ball down, it has good sink to it. But does he have anything left? I mean, he's thrown a lot of innings. Mentioned this is his 7th consecutive year of 30 or more starts. Marcell Ozuna. 95-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. And I think Scherzer caught a little bit of a break with Martin Prado, a late scratch with the little soreness in his wrist. Prado 9 for 19 with a home run against Scherzer.
Ozuna pulls it foul. And it's 0-2. So Prado scratched. Ozuna was not in the original lineup. He came in to play center, moving Yelich to left. Ichiro coming in to play right. Prado still part of the team. A sore wrist. He aggravated it last night, and it got worse today. Breaking ball. Scherzer gives up a long ball, though. A 2-run shot to Christian Yelich. And Miami is off to a 2-0 start again here tonight in D.C. So Jose Fernandez with a 2-0 lead. And here's the Nationals lineup that he'll face tonight. It's brought to you by JM Lexus. Anthony Rendon at second. Escobar at third. Bryce Harper in center. Jason Worth in right. Clint Robinson's at first. Ian Desmond drove in 4 runs last night. Matt Den Decker in left. Jose Lobaton, the catcher, and Max Scherzer hits ninth. Boy, it's just so nice to see Jose in uniform on the mound, healthy and throwing again. And he opens with a fastball for a strike against Rendon. 8 starts, has not lost, and his ERA just a nudge over 2.
I was looking back today, Rich, at his rehab starts as he got himself ready to make the 8 starts that he's made. He had 5 rehab starts. Nothing really spectacular. His ERA was a little over 4, but he threw strikes, got some strikeouts, had very few walks. So always good command from Jose.
There is no real roadmap of certainty in coming back from Tommy John surgery. Some people come back and they're fine. Some people come back and they hit a bump in the road. And Jose did that with the bicep tendonitis. But his last start against Washington, very good. 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs. And he's throwing hard here. Rojas makes the play, less than a step, and Rendon is out. Miami has been one of the best defensive teams in the National League all year long.
They have gotten a really good job from Miguel Rojas. The defense brought to you by BMW. Yelich in left field, he's comfortable there. Ozuna in center, Ichiro in right. Dietrich at third. There's Rojas at short. D. Gordon, Justin Bour, and JT Realmuto is behind the plate.
Yunel Escobar takes down low. Escobar 0 for 4 last night. Of the National regulars, they certainly have had their injury issues. Denard Span done for the year. Ryan Zimmerman may be done for the year. Matt Williams has been able to count on Escobar 127 games this year. Bryce Harper 139. And Ian Desmond 142. That one a weak ground ball to first, and Bohr gets the out.
All fastballs, and I guarantee one of the things on Jose's mind, use the two-seamer, get some early outs. Maybe I can go a little deeper in the game.
Third pitch was 100. 96 is the low end so far tonight.
Do you remember what he told us the last time? He thought the gun in Miami was a little fast. He didn't think he was throwing that hard.
It's all in your mind. Now Harper, 8 career at bats, 2 for 8 is Harper against Jose. Harper with that shin guard on that right leg. Last night in at bat, he hit 2 balls in a row off that lower leg, one in the shin, one in the instep. Impressively, he got a base hit and then went first to third on a single to right, busting it all the way and narrowly beating a throw via replay in the process.
I'm impressed that he has his name on that shin guard. You know what? You hit 40 home runs, you lead the league in hitting. Guess it makes sense.
Yeah, and there's shin guard manufacturers clamoring for you to wear their product. Here's the 2-1, and it's down low. Now you're looking at 2 young, budding, well, they're not budding, let's face it, they're superstars. Bryce Harper is an MVP this year. Jose Fernandez, coming back from injury, was the Rookie of the Year in 2013. Just amazing to me that Harper has just the 8 at bats against him. Time called. Jose fires a fastball. Not sure who called time, whether it was Harper or the home plate umpire. See Harper at 22, Fernandez at 23. That's on the outside corner.
That's a perfect 3-1 pitch. You know Harper's thinking fastball. He got the fastball, but Jose just put it right on the corner.
It's actually right on top of pitch number 3. A little bit out. Chris Conroy is the home plate umpire. Breaking ball, Harper takes it. No swing, says Angel Hernandez. And a walk to Harper, and that is, of all the numbers that you talk about, MVP numbers, and people look at average and homers and RBIs, but Harper's on-base percentage is just out of this world this year. He's up around 470, and he's slugging almost 670. Jock Peterson, 87 walks, and Curtis Granderson rounding out that top 5. Now Worth. Worth a 1 for 3 last night. 2 nights ago in Philly, he had a 2-homer night.
Well, he's been on a really good run for Matt Williams. He's been on base 26 consecutive games. And over that time, 8 home runs and 18 RBIs. So he's been productive. Remember when the Nationals were in Miami, he hit leadoff and then he got moved to the number 4 spot.
Worth cracks it to right. Ichiro makes the catch, and Jose Fernandez, a rather uneventful first. Miami on Christian Yelich's 2-run shot, a 2-0 lead. Dietrich climbs in against Max Scherzer. The Marlins a quick start on a Christian Yelich 2-run homer.
I was a little surprised looking at the numbers, but it was during the time that Martin Prado was on the DL. Derek Dietrich has started 20 games at third base this year.
Well, as we've noted, for a guy like Dietrich, he can only help his value to the Marlins, for himself and the rest of baseball, by being able to play as many positions as he can and play them capably. And he's been trying to learn left fields on the fly in the big leagues. That's not easy. Second base.
So I'm getting a start at second the other night.
Third base. Even some first base. He's worked there.
He'll be a man of many gloves, which will just enhance his career.
As long as that thing that's in his hands right now works. You're right. And he's had some big moments at the plate this year. Dietrich, a fly ball out. That's Matt Den Decker out there. An out here in the second. Half Price Tuesday awaits the Marlins and the Phillies back home to open up the homestand. The last homestand of the season. Half Price Lexus Legends Platinum tickets. Great discounts on tickets in several other categories. It's all brought to you by the Miami Herald. Go to Marlins.com. Now Real Muto.
They're going to start calling Christian Yelich Babe with him calling the shot.
You know, sometimes a great bullpen session or a great batting practice doesn't always translate into the game, but for whatever reason, Yelich was very enthusiastic about his rounds of BP. Marlins just saw Max Scherzer. That is a strike on the outside corner.
Well, we talked about how he just pounds the strike zone. There's that two-seamer. It stays down. Boy, an absolute perfect pitch.
Rojas. And Max Scherzer quite rapidly dispatches Miami in the second. The Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Marlins. Clint Robinson, right center field. That is deep. That's upper deck. And it's way, way gone. And the Nationals draw within a run on one swing.
Clint Robinson, a guy who's getting an opportunity with Ryan Zimmerman hurt. Robinson, a guy been with a few organizations, lots of home runs in the minor leagues, over 140. And he showed why with that power there. Jumps on a first pitch fastball, middle of the plate. And there was never a doubt.
We saw the velocity range in that first inning from Jose, 96 to 100. That was 94 miles an hour on the fastball. Ian Desmond stepping out just as Jose delivered. And the pitch called the ball. It's 1-0.
I think you might have some hitters trying to slow up Jose a little bit. Stepping out of the box, trying to get time called. Because you have two pitchers that do the same thing. Scherzer does the same, works quickly.
Jose, very simple. Gets it, turns around, walks up, turns around, gets a sign, and throws it. And it's a high fastball at 99, and Desmond swings and misses.
That has never been comfortable for Ian Desmond against Jose. He is now 0 for 15 with 11 strikeouts. When you see numbers like that, I'm actually surprised Matt Williams has him in the lineup tonight.
We had a big night last night. Remember, a homer and a 2 RBI hit. He drove in 4 runs last night.
That's probably why.
Matt Dendecker, the former Gator, is in there. Westminster Academy. He and Michael Taylor from the same school in South Florida.
Doesn't happen too often. Two guys on a major league team that were at the same high school.
Fernandez misses up, and it's a ball and a strike. Desperate times, desperate measures for the Nationals. With 16 games left, they are 8 back. The Marlins have been a big part of that in taking a couple bites out of the Nationals when they were in Miami. The last 7 days, they are 5-2.
That's
against the Nationals and the Mets.
That pitch right there is frustrating because it's a pitch that has been called a strike, and that time a ball.
Lobaton on deck. And Dendecker up the middle into center field. So he's got a hit. And with one out, here comes Lobaton, who gets the start behind the plate.
Lobaton, a switch hitter, so Matt Williams wanted the left-handed bat. Wilson Ramos has played a lot this year.
Last night the Mets were idle, and so the loss by the Nationals cost them a half a game. Tonight the damage can be worse, as the Mets and the Yankees have an 8 o'clock start in Flushing at Citi Field. Or excuse me, it's already underway.
Yeah, the Yankees have an early lead, 1-0 lead.
Into left field. That's a base hit. Yelich picks it up. Lobaton has a hit. So 3 hits in the inning. Robinson's homer after the strikeout of Desmond. Den Decker and Lobaton with hits. Here is Scherzer, though, with 1 out.
You know, the ball Lobaton hit, not all that sharply, but got it in the right spot. Jose now is going to have to really go after Scherzer. Not a bad hitter. Scherzer has 11 hits on the year. And he might be bunting.
Pops it up. Who wants it? It's Real Muto. And both runners have to hold. Always nice to have an athletic catcher.
Thinking the same thing, Rich. There are a lot of catchers that just aren't able to get to that ball. But because of the quickness, the athletic ability of Real Muto, he gets it right in front of Derek Dietrich. And then in the meantime, I watched Rojas. Miguel Rojas raced over to third because there was no one at third base.
Anthony Rendon with a 9-game hit streak. And 2 outs. One of the benefits of having Rendon in the leadoff spot is a situation like this. He's not your slap and run guy. He's a guy that can drive the ball in the gaps. He can hit it out of the ballpark. A line drive hitter who has a really nice on base percentage, up around 370.
Boy, and they missed him when he was on the disabled list. A couple of times he was on the DL.
Rendon, Harper.
Saw that name Corey Seager on the list. He's had a pretty good splash in L.A. and has taken away most of the playing time from Jimmy Rollins.
Hard to keep him out of the lineup.
Yeah.
Even though they're headed towards October. They're still trying to win that division. Rendon to right. Ichiro makes the catch. Jose gives up a homer to Clint Robinson. And it's 2-1. President Lincoln in the house, or in his house, or in his memorial, the mall, which has so many great memorials. The other day I ran to the mall.
It's a great place.
The Korean War Memorial is a very underrated,
yes, it is,
very poignant and somber place.
The 3D figures.
Yes, Very cool place. Tomorrow I'm headed down there. I'm not sure which one to visit. And here is Jose, and a fastball from Scherzer misses outside. Fernandez, D. Gordon, and Ichiro for Miami in the third. Christian Yelich, a 2-run homer. Clint Robinson, a solo shot. And Jose hits a hot smash to short. Desmond to first in time. And there is one out. It's a Flashback Friday, and it's brought to you by Jeep. Submit your best vintage photo and use the hashtag Flashback Marlins. Best photo will be featured on tonight's post-game show. Preston Wilson will personally go through the photographs and select the best one, with some help from the crack staff.
And Preston did not know that was part of his duties.
It's one of the most impressive things about Preston as a broadcaster. He has done a little bit of everything. Here is D. Gordon, who smacks it into center field. Harper goes back and makes the catch. Boy, D. Gordon muscling up and sending that one mid-warning track in left center field. Gordon has shown a lot of pop lately. Remember, he homered on Tuesday night on this road trip in New York. He would double on Wednesday, and last night 2 hits and a sac fly.
I'll tell you another really interesting thing about Preston Wilson, that we just find out all these facts. We've talked about rookie home runs. Preston Wilson as a Marlin, 26 home runs as a rookie. Nice going, P.
Thanks. You know? Seems like such a long time ago now, man, watching these guys do it.
How did the power come early, Preston? Because oftentimes you hear coaches and managers talk about a young player saying, oh, his power is going to come later. Yours was there when you got here.
I had natural bat speed, and I had really strong hands to forearms, and it just produced power. I had good leverage.
Well, in any walk of life or business, you want leverage, right, Press?
Yes, especially when you strike out as much as I did. You got to make sure that when you do make contact, there's some serious damage happening.
1-2 to Ichiro. Preston, on the Yelich swing, on the Yelich home run, we saw it from up here. You had a nice look from on the field. What did you see?
He does such a good job when he drives the ball. He's behind the ball. The barrel's out in front. You can see the contact, the extension, and he really stays on his legs. He doesn't come up off of his base. He uses his legs really well.
Ichiro, a liner to right field. Worth is there, and he makes the catch. 2 well-struck balls by Gordon and Ichiro end up on a warning track in left and in right. 2-1 Miami. Toyota, let's go places by Vico Painting Contractors. For top quality work, excellent customer satisfaction, visit vicopainting.com. By Checkers, epic meals, epic deals. And by Auto Nation, save on over 70,000 vehicles now. Visit us online, AutoNation.com. Two 2-1. All 3 runs on home runs. Second time through, Yunel Escobar, Bryce Harper, Jason Worth. The home run by Clint Robinson of the Nationals, leading off the second. Bouncer to short. Rojas there to get it. On to first for the out. The Marlins still awaiting the return of Adeiny Echeverria. He had a great infield session today, and the hope is that in a day or two, the hamstring's ready to go.
Well, I talked to him a little bit today, Rich, and he really wants to play. Very frustrated that it's taken this long. And hopefully it won't be too long for Martin Prado, who was a late scratch in this one with a little tweak in his left wrist.
This was a fun matchup, the first at bat, and that was Harper against Jose.
That sucks.
Harper would walk. Breaking ball pulled foul. And it's 0-2.
Article in the Washington Post today about Harper's relationship with Matt Williams, his manager. You know, you and I last night were talking about the fate of Matt Williams, but you know, when you're aligned really well and your star looks at you as a coach, as a father figure, that's going to help.
How much of the Nationals' fade is Williams' fault? How much of it is the general manager's fault in assembling the team? How much of it the players' fault for not performing? I mean, there's really no way you can look at it and say, you know what, a different manager, this would have turned out differently.
Every manager is going to be second-guessed with pitchers' moves, and that's really where he's been second-guessed. But that happens to all managers.
And down goes Harper. He knew it. He didn't even wait for the check swing appeal. Phillies and Fish, and it's the final Kids Eat Free Wednesday, September 23rd, 7:10. Every child 12 and under with a ticket gets a coupon for a free KM Beef Frank, bag of Frito-Lay chips, small Pepsi or Aquafina water. And I saw a promo today for that Yankees-Mets game, and the promo said it was on at 8 Eastern. That's why I didn't really start looking for the score until you kicked me in the shins.
Well, I did, and then also let you know that Lucas Duda just tied it, so it's a 1-1.
That I saw. Swing and a miss. I must have seen the Sunday promo because they played the Sunday night game. And it's a weekend series that will be on a lot of different networks starting tonight. And Duda's homer was a long one.
They need to get him hot. The Mets do. Remember, with the Marlins there, he was really struggling. Speaking of hot,
Jose Fernandez. It's 2-1 Fish. Yelich today, batting practice, had a great round and exclaimed to Frank Menachino after exiting the cage, "I feel it. I'm going deep." And you know what? He did. First AB to right center. Warren Henry drive of the game, a 2-run shot. And Scherzer's fastball rides away, and it's 1-0. And Yelich continues a surge that started after the first 2 months of the season and has been steady ever since the calendar turned to June.
Rich, I've talked to Niner about this. I don't know if I've asked Preston, but Preston, when you see Yelich, do you see more home runs in his future?
Oh, I definitely think the power is going to develop. He's such a good hitter, and he's a lot stronger than people think he is. So the power is going to come just with maturity and him learning what his strengths are. We've seen him hit home runs in some really big ballparks. We've seen him go out of San Francisco. We've seen him go out in Miami. We've seen him hit some balls a very long way. That ball he hit to center field in Miami earlier this year was a monster shot.
You know, not only learning his strengths and maturing, but also learning situations too.
2-2 fastball, and he fouls it off. He's really such a nice blend of hitter with speed, knows the strike zone so well. A swing and a miss. Scherzer with a breaking ball gets him first out of the 4th. And that brings up Justin Bour.
That's a hard slider or cutter that just bores inside and was in a perfect location.
No pun intended, I'm sure. Because here is Justin. Change up, pulls it foul. Bour last night launched in the 5th. That was against Tanner Roark. It was a 3-run homer. He had a solo shot in the 8th on Wednesday night in New York. 3 hits on Tuesday night in New York. Drove in a couple, had a double and 2 singles. And as the season stretches longer, you get a bigger and bigger sample size from Bour. And he has done nothing to disappoint.
Yeah, he has not let anyone down. Talked about his 18 home runs as a rookie. Dan Uggla, 27 home runs as a Marlins rookie. That's a club high. And Josh Willingham, and we mentioned before, Preston Wilson with 26.
And that pitch is out. Scherzer got that inside corner on the last strike, and he just missed there.
Remember Scherzer, before his start in Miami, he had a 7-game stretch where he was 0-3 and had an ERA over 6.
Yeah, you're right. He came into that start, and it looked like...
And that's what he did in Miami.
And it looked like he was vulnerable. And then he pitched like he was invincible. That one fouled back and out of play.
And I mentioned it briefly when we opened up the telecast about Justin Bour. You brought up the point that he had that period where he did struggle. And when he looks back on this year, he'll remember that period as a real learning process for him.
Bour walks. You know, you look at Scherzer and you think he's this pitching cyborg who just throws heat, is untouchable. There is a really poignant article from a couple years ago. It was on ESPN.com. And it's not a subject he talks about a lot. His brother Alex, who was very much into sabermetrics in baseball. They grew up together. He lost him to depression. Lost him 2 years ago. And if you're on the couch and you've got your laptop open, Google it. Give it a read.
It really gives you a human side of these guys that are major leaguers, as opposed to he's won this many games, he's making this much money.
His brother, in the article, you realize, and Scherzer said it, how much his brother helped him along the way, the trials and tribulations in the minor leagues, even when he got to the big leagues in Arizona and in Detroit. It was written by Robert Sanchez. Bohr's at first. Two and two. That's a perfect pitch.
He had that stretch, Scherzer did, and this is probably what led up to the poor stretch. He had that unbelievable 4-game stretch through 34+ innings over 4 starts. No hitter. He had a 1-hitter with 16 strikeouts.
Ozuna cranks one in the gap, right center field, and this will test Bohr's speed. Headed for third, up with the ball is Worth. Bohr will be held at third, and Ozuna with a blast of a double. Man, that was launched, a missile. It quickly got over Worth's head. Had he been able to land it a little softer, Bohr may have had a chance to scamper home.
Yeah, it looked like Scherzer tried to go back with that same pitch. Remember the fastball that was perfect on the outer part of the plate? Looks like he tries to go right back there again. There's the target, but it drifts in. Got a lot of the plate. It was up a little bit, and Ozuna was ready for it. Hits this ball hard. Both Worth and Harper over there, and the ball takes a little bit of a funny hop. And Justin Bohr goes first to third.
Big at bat now for Derek Dietrich. Infield up the middle is halfway. You don't have speed at third. Corners are in. Scherzer gets a strike. There's Bohr, who had walked in front of Ozuna's double. Dietrich a bouncer towards second, and Rendon will get the out.
So Rendon wasn't all the way in. He was about halfway. And I'm sure Justin Bohr got the instructions from Lenny Harris. If it's at an infielder, stay put. Because Rendon would have gone to the plate and probably gotten Bohr because he was about halfway. On this road trip, Rich, and on this stretch of the Marlins playing such good baseball, winning 12 of 16, we've seen a lot of big 2-out base hits. And here's a situation right here for JT Realmuto.
That went off the end of the bat. Realmuto, in his last 13 games, has been as hot as anyone. A .381 average. 3 homers, 2 doubles.
see the kind of pitcher Scherzer is. Runners were at second and third, even with Dietrich up there, a lefty. He's still going to go right after you, and he's quickly ahead to JT 0-2.
Fastball, Real Muto, right field and deep. Back goes Worth at the track, and he makes the catch. Up against the wall, Real Muto, a few feet away from knocking in both those runs. Scherzer pitches out of it. Miami leaves two in scoring position. In D.C., it's 2-1 Marlins. Dealers, visit your South Florida Chevy dealers today. By Checkers, epic meals, epic deals. And by Transylvania 2 in theaters September 25th. Into right, a base hit by Clint Robinson.
So far, no problem is Jose Fernandez for Clint Robinson.
Now a solo homer in the second and a sharp shot to right.
It's been a different story for this guy, though.
Yeah, Robinson has seen just 2 pitches. Yeah, we documented the struggles of Ian Desmond against Jose Fernandez. And they got a little worse in the second after a strikeout. Oh for 15, 11 strikeouts.
And quickly, it's 0-2. All-Star in 2012, Ian Desmond. And you know, even with a poor first half, a couple of more home runs, and Desmond will make it 4 straight years of 20 or more home runs.
And that's why I think he'll find a place to play next year and get paid pretty well for it, though he did turn down a rather lucrative contract a year and a half ago. And the Nationals tried to lock him up long term. 0-2. On the ground, Dietrich. Gordon's turn. Just got him. Just got him. D. Gordon, nifty play. The feed was a bit low. But a good 2 outs to get for Jose Fernandez.
Well, keep in mind, not a lot of activity over third base for Dietrich, so D. Gordon helps him out. and gets that throw that's a little low. You'd like that throw to be above the belt and about chest high. It helps out that second baseman. D. Gordon with a terrific turn.
Matt Den Decker singled in the second. So both of these aces, both of these strikeout guys, Bulldog pitchers, have been hit tonight. I mean, the Nationals have barreled some balls up. The Marlins certainly have done that against Scherzer.
Yeah, the only pitcher in the National League with more strikeouts than Scherzer is Clayton Kershaw.
And Jose, coming in, had 60 strikeouts in only 8 starts.
Well, you look back to Jose's Rookie of the Year season, 2013. 187 strikeouts in 172 and 2/3 innings.
He's got 3 tonight.
It's amazing, in some of the games, some of the losses have been close games. We've talked about his home record, 16-0, but Jose 5-8 away from Marlins Park. A decent earned run average, 3.86, but nothing like the 1.11 ERA at home. I think that'll even out. I think that'll get better as the years go by.
And he loses Den Decker. Keep in mind he threw 69 pitches his last start, which was his first start back after the bicep tendonitis.
He's upset right now because he knows the walks aren't going to help him go deep into the game, as deep as he'd like.
South Florida Honda dealers prepare you for the 4 o'clock game tomorrow by arriving at 3:30 with Craig and Carl. Chuck Hernandez watching. Here is Lobaton. Jose Lobaton singled in the second.
Lobaton's been with San Diego. He's been with the Rays. Always a solid backup guy. Did play 100 games with the Rays in 2013.
.96 on the fastball. If you can handle yourself behind the plate as a major league caliber defensive catcher, you'll have employment for a long time. That is strike 3. Down goes Lobaton. 2-1 Miami. MLB Whip Around. Fox Sports 1 highlights, analysis, live look-ins, cool music. 7 Eastern on Fox Sports 1, streaming live on Fox Sports Go. So the best part of that promo read is that whenever that music comes on, Tommy Hutton starts spinning around in his seat. Around and around and around. Jose will open the inning on deck. Miguel Rojas leads it off. D. Gordon scheduled third. Scherzer certainly in a better position to go deep in this game. For him, this is start number 30, and this already has pushed him over the 200 inning mark. This is inning number 203 that he starts here.
Yeah, and we mentioned too, Rich, the 30 starts. That's 7 consecutive years for Scherzer. Really came into his own with the Tigers. 5 years with Detroit. 82-35.
He's got 4 strikeouts tonight. And that's just off the corner. Of course, Scherzer signing an enormous contract. 7 years, $210 million. This is year 1 of that contract.
He'll be 37 in year 7.
And he'll be rolling in dough in year 14. Mike Rizzo. The Nationals are deferring $105 million of that contract for the years 2022 through 2028. No interest, though. This is not a Bobby Bonilla type deal.
Well, 18-5 last year with Detroit. 21-3 in a Cy Young the year before.
No hitter this year. And that was the start after throwing a 1-hitter. And his alma mater, that of one of our favorite guys to see around the ballpark, Phil Bradley, University of Missouri.
Always good to see Phil Bradley.
Bradley was a quarterback at Missouri and an outfielder in the major leagues. Rojas walks, and Scherzer kicking himself right now, as any starter would, because it puts the pitcher in a position where he can bunt the runner up.
Yeah, and you saw Jose anticipating that in the on-deck circle. You saw a couple of shots. He was moving the bat around, getting it out there for a bunt.
You don't see that from a guy in the on-deck circle.
Usually he's taking cuts.
Yeah. He's thinking hit a bomb. Here, just get it down.
Which Jose can do.
Three sacrifice bunts this season. The Marlins, by the way, the Marlins pitchers this year are the best in baseball on sacrifice bunts, both in number and percentage. The Marlins this year have converted 48% of their sacrifice bunts as a pitching staff.
That's pretty good when you are almost 50% every 2 times. That's a great number. And lately they've been swinging the bats well too.
Ooh, wow. Get your hands away from that. Counts 1-2.
Boy, up and in with a fastball. you've heard of defensive swings. That was a defensive bunt attempt.
There's the bunt, and it's perfect.
Beautiful.
Nicely done, Robinson.
Add that to the total, Rich.
There you go. All right, Tommy, here it is. 50 sacrifice bunts in 103 attempts. The Marlins are pushing 49% now.
Beautiful. See, Brett Butler, he's pleased at that. Especially the comeback after the pitch before.
Now D. Gordon. Got Rojas out at second. Gordon, a line drive hit his first time up. And he swings and misses. This series, of course, features two of the top hitters in the National League. 2 weeks away from the end of the season. Bryce Harper has walked and struck out. Harper hitting .339. And Gordon with his base hit hitting .334.
All of a sudden he's seen 2 straight breaking balls.
Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Coors Light, leading off a game with a hit. Includes tonight. Juan Pierre 54 times back in 2004. In the dirt, kicks away, and Rojas is 90 feet away, and that certainly changes the pitch and the rest of the at bat for D. Gordon. That's going to bring the infield in.
Yeah, he tried to snap that breaking ball off. It scoots away. Lobaton tries to block it. The tough part about this situation for D. Gordon is that he has 2 strikes on him.
Into the bat, he stays alive.
D with a base hit tonight. You pointed that out, his first time up. Right now he's working on 4 consecutive games of multi-hits, 2 or more hits.
Well, Scherzer capable of a wild pitch. Lobaton wants it up.
Wants a fastball up.
That's way up.
There have been some times, and that's where pitchers will go if they're thinking about a strikeout with D. Gordon. They get 2 strikes, they'll try to go up with that fastball.
Gordon has 3 sacrifice flies on the season, had one last night. Infield's in. And he fouls it back. Remember, Miami had second and third and 1 out in the 4th. But Scherzer got Derek Dietrich to bounce to second. The infield was drawn in. And then Real Muto hit a ball to the warning track that Worth caught moving back to end the inning. Another 2-2. Up the middle, Desmond bobbles a bit and then recovers to get the out.
I tell you the tough part for a runner right there. You and I sit up here and we see, okay, it's up the middle. How come he didn't go? You know what? Where you are at third base, where Miguel Rojas is, it's right back to the pitcher. And you don't know if Scherzer's going to field it. If Scherzer fields it and you go, you're dead meat at the plate. And that's the unfortunate part about that situation.
Plus, it went by the pitcher as a line drive, so all he had to do was catch it. And that would be an inning double play. So Ichiro with 2 outs. Ichiro has popped out, flied out. Ichiro into right center, and running it down is Rendon. And the Marlins leave another at third base. Better place to celebrate a holiday than Washington, D.C. It's National Cheeseburger Day. That's actually goat cheese going on there right now. 75% of Americans have had a cheeseburger. I believe it's this week. Oh, at least once a week. Doctors recommend that, Tommy. Did you know that?
Well, yeah. That means you'll be visiting them more.
Max Scherzer goes after a pitch.
Who doesn't like a cheeseburger? Well, I guess if you're a vegetarian, you wouldn't. But who doesn't like a good cheeseburger?
In this ballpark, Shake Shack is out in right center field. This is a very good food ballpark. That's a nasty breaking ball, and Jose Fernandez gets a strikeout. Bottom five here. Scherzer against Jose. All three runs have come on home runs. Clint Robinson, a solo shot in the second for the Nationals. That cut Miami's lead in half because Christian Yelich bopped a 2-run homer in the first.
Well, Jose has 5 strikeouts. Scherzer has 4. Boy, it's just fun to watch him attack with that hard slider. The fastball's been actually 96 to 100. Except for the home run. The home run was 94, I believe. There's the changeup right there.
Rendon 0 for 2 night. He's got a 9-game hit streak. Rendon and Jason Worth, both the hot hitters in Washington's lineup. That one flipped foul. And Rendon's streak, his average has been well over 400. Worth, of course, has got that long run of getting on base, which sits at 26 consecutive games. He's 0 for 2 tonight. This is a 1-2 pitch, and it's out. How long for Jose Fernandez tonight, Tommy Hutton? Just from judging what you've seen and the number of pitches right now at 72.
Yeah, it kind of depends how quickly he gets through this inning here. But he's throwing free and easy. Probably the second inning, the most stress he had in inning 1 inning.
Wow. Fastball 99, dialed it up, blew it by him. So a pair of strikeouts to open up this fifth. Geico presents this date in Marlins history. Gary Sheffield 3 for 3, couple homers, drove in 7. At that point in year 3, a club record. Marlins lost by a field goal at the Vet.
Gary Sheffield's made a few appearances this year on our Geico.
You know what? And made an appearance in the booth.
Yeah, he was great.
I really enjoyed talking to him. I know he has done some television with Turner in the postseason. I'd like to see him do more. I think he is a kind of a breath of fresh air and a really interesting guy. To left, Escobar sends Yelich back, and he makes the catch on the track. Jose Fernandez will smile for his fellow countrymen. He's through 5 with the lead. It's 2-1. And both Jose Fernandez and Max Scherzer have settled in. Fernandez goes down and said, hey, look, Chuck, before you say anything, I got this, buddy.
Yeah,
I got this.
That's great because he saw Chuck coming over, but Jose initiated the conversation.
It's a proactive move there, isn't it? Preemptive strike.
I think we all like it.
Absolutely. And he's been like that since the day he put on a uniform. Now Yelich, whose homer ended up in the seats in right center field, struck out back in the fourth. 7 homers for Yelich. Sends that one to center. Hit that one right on the screws. And Harper makes the catch. Fish Family, the exclusive loyalty program of Marlin fans. Tonight's code, Fernandez. Why not? Marlins.com/Fish Family. Justin Bour has struck out and walked. This is game number 115 for Bour. 353 at bats. So there have been some games where he's merely been a pinch hitter. But his slugging percentage up over 450. His on base percentage sits over 320.
And along with the 18 home runs, 61 RBIs, he's hit some big home runs.
Scherzer pumps it up to 96.
I think Scherzer probably went through that period pitchers will call a dead arm period when he had those 4 or 5 subpar starts, but it looks like he's making up for it. He started Miami, and he's throwing the ball well here tonight. Jose getting ready for his 6th inning.
And talking to his catcher, JT Realmuto. Ozuna takes outside. This is a Scherzer Jose Fernandez matchup. You got Nicolino and Zimmerman tomorrow afternoon, 3:30 for Marlins Live. Ozuna's double off the wall in right. Scherzer trying to get him to bite at that breaking ball. He blasted a fastball and it exited, my guess, over 100 miles an hour off the bat. It was a shot to right.
Yeah, it was a fastball up and out over the plate a little bit.
It's out. It's a nice at bat by Ozuna. Adds to the pitch count and gives Dietrich a shot here in the 6th.
That is something that Marcell Ozuna does not do a lot. That is draw the walk. Ozuna coming into the game 100 strikeouts, just 26 walks.
Fly ball out, a ground ball out. And you know that both these guys have been watching when the other's been out on the mound. I think all starting pitchers pay a little more attention on the nights when Scherzer is the opponent or Jose is the opponent. Dietrich almost sounded like it hit the umpire. There was sort of a clicking noise. Dietrich's not stopping, and he pays the price. Out at second. That's Bryce Harper in center field. He's pretty good.
Well, we're going to see.
Derek Dietrich finds out the hard way.
Second base umpire Adam Hamari. Remember, it was Hamari had that close call at third base last night with Harper, the runner.
Marlins looking at the replay. And they will not challenge. So costly base running. 2-1 Miami. And Derek Dietrich, an interesting sequence here.
You know, it appears Harper just goes over, casually picks it up, and throws it in. He doesn't throw an absolute bullet. I think he was either conceding that Dietrich was going to stay at first or just conceding the two-base hit, and he came up and made a perfect throw.
Fastball misses outside. We turn to our resident center fielder and Preston Wilson. Press, what'd you see on the plate?
It was just a poor decision on the bases. That ball should never he shouldn't have tried to advance that for a double. That play is right in front of you. See it, you know the outfielder's got a good arm, and he didn't even have to use it on that play. He just threw it accurately to the base and was able to get him fairly easily.
And you would have loved to have had JT Realmuto with a chance to knock in a run with 2 outs. Harper against Jose. All right, Preston, your impressions of Jose Fernandez tonight.
Jose Fernandez is doing a great job establishing fastball strikes, not just fastball strikes, but quality fastball strikes early in the account. He's getting ahead of these hitters, and then he's able to expand. He's used the changeup a good bit more tonight than I've seen him use the last couple starts. And now he's throwing that little slider that he uses on that first base side to get in behind that back foot of lefties and run it away from righties.
After this pitch, I have a question for you too, Preston. Maybe now, if you were a hitter, how would you prepare for Jose Fernandez?
I'm looking on the outside part of the plate and looking for the fastball. Because if he gets the ball up on you, you're not going to be able to catch it. You got to look away and just try to hit that fastball out there. And you try to drive him straight out to center field. I mean, he's like Scherzer. Scherzer doesn't make many mistakes. The ball's down a lot. So that works to his advantage, and you just have to try to stay out there where you think he's going to be most of the time. Both of those guys pitch more on the first base side of the plate than they do on the third base side.
Harper over the middle, Rojas sliding, and with Harper's speed, he's got a base hit. And that's a leadoff single here in the sixth. You saw Narveson in the bullpen, a strong indication, and certainly no expectations that he would pitch into the seventh, that this is the last inning for Jose Fernandez.
Over the head of Jose, and even if Miguel Rojas picks that cleanly, he doesn't throw Bryce Harper out. Now Harper runs well, but his base stealing has been limited. You know, he's had the wrist and thumb injuries, so he's just 6 out of 10 in stealing bases this year.
Now Worth, who, as we noted, is one of the hotter hitters for the Nationals. I think it hit him. Worth looking at Jose. Jose looking at Worth.
Now don't look at him. Why would you hit a guy in a one-run game with nobody out after an infield single? Jason Worth knows better than that.
And look where it hits him.
Plus, it got him on that elbow thing. So don't walk down the line and stare at the pitcher in that situation. For a guy who's been around as long as Jason Worth, that's bad. You know what, Jose? File that one away for next year. We can say that up here.
Well, right now, Fernandez has to work his way out of this sixth.
Hey, Worth should be happy. He's got on base for the 27th consecutive game now.
Harper's at second, Worth's at first. Clint Robinson is homered and singled. He has had good swings tonight.
Yeah, Jose is really going to have to reach back and make some excellent pitches, and this all of a sudden becomes a stressful inning. Let me throw this in the mix too with Jose hitting Worth. Jason Worth's 1 for 14 against Jose Fernandez. Why are you going to hit him?
In the dirt, high off the screen. And now the Nationals are really in business.
Just snaps off that breaking ball. Not a good approach. Not the approach you want to see from JT Realmuto. The glove was positioned the wrong way. Jose just snapped off that breaking ball and a wild pitch.
Another breaking ball, and he gets the second strike on Robinson. Ian Desmond, Matt Den Decker follow Robinson.
Talking about the pitch they want to make to Robinson. Count 3-2.
Got him.
And they made the right one.
There's the first out. Well, as you look at this 3-2 pitch, if Jose could select a national hitter to face now and go up and down the roster, it probably would be Ian Desmond, who documented his struggles against Jose. A fastball in, and they've continued tonight. 0 for 16, 11 strikeouts. Now, Desmond last night drove in all 4 runs for the Nationals. He's had a nice couple of months with the bat. A rip at a 97-mile-an-hour fastball.
Desmond would just like to hit the ground ball he hit in the 4th inning. It turned into a double play, but he would take that here. And Jose would like to make pitches the way he made to Clint Robinson.
And because there's a man at second, the Marlins infield is back. Oof. Right down the pipe.
It still has 97 in the back pocket.
Harper an infield hit to open the inning. Worth got clipped on the elbow with a fastball. A wild pitch moved him to second and third. Jose struck out Robinson. He's 1-2 on Desmond. Oh, that one kicks away. And a run comes across. The game is tied. Rio Muto trying to wrestle with that sharp breaking ball.
That's been a rough inning for JT in that respect. Not an easy pitch. Here it is again. That sharp breaker. He slides over and the ball skips just past him.
Well, the lead is lost, but it's still tied. And Desmond with a 2-2 coming. He struck him out. 98 miles an hour. Up in with some rise to it. You had to know Jose wasn't going to throw another breaking ball after 2 wild pitches, and so Dan Jennings is out of the dugout. Dan Decker is up. He's walked and singled. And it looks like Dan Jennings is making a double switch, and Jose is coming out of the game. Jose right now is having a discussion with Jason Worth, and it looks like a rather civil one. Casey McGee coming in. And a double switch. Fernandez comes out. A West Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. And Jose Fernandez coming out of the game. 2-2. Chris Narveson out of the pen. And he'll face Michael Taylor. Or you have Jose Fernandez facing Matt Dendecker.
The other thing to throw into the mix, Rich, Chris Narveson hasn't pitched in almost 2 weeks. September 6th was the last time he pitched. And you know if you make this move, Casey McGee comes in and double switch, you know that Matt Williams is going to pinch hit for the left-handed bat at Dendecker and get the right-handed bat in there.
And Narveson on
one pitch, it works out just like that. Of course it did.
Throws a changeup and gets the out. Just like that. Nicely done by the lefty. It's 2-2, Marlins and Nationals. Marlins and Phillies at 7:10. Seniors 55 and older get free tickets on Senior Free Ticket Thursday, presented by Wellmax Medical Center. Visit your local South Florida Subway restaurant. $5 tickets from Subway. Marlins.com for more info. Max Scherzer, 3 walks. And he doesn't walk many. He only walked 26 in 29 starts coming in. He's got the 5 strikeouts as well, giving him only 236 strikeouts this year. Slacker.
Well, a different look in the outfield. Michael Taylor stays in the game, so he goes to center field, and that moves the other guys back to where they feel a little more comfortable. Harper's in right, and Jason Worth is in left.
First pitch fastball, Real Muto on a couple hops to Desmond.
That was a little bit of a civil conversation. You picked that up, Rich, with Jose and Worth when Jose was standing on the mound.
I think sometimes.
And I would hope so. I mean, because Jason Worth's been around long enough.
I think sometimes.
I think he just reacted.
Sometimes both players don't want to blink. You know what I mean? It's like when our producer asks us, Tommy, hey, Rich and Tommy, one of you two guys stick around for the post-game show. We glare at each other for about a minute to see who blinks first.
Mm-hmm. And then we think about doing that post-game interview with Craig.
And then we get Preston to do it.
Well, he's got the persona. Yeah, Worth's got the beard. He's got the long hair. He had to not blink.
Scherzer facing Rojas, who has walked and popped out. Casey McGee is in that 9 spot, and so he's on deck.
Talked about Scherzer on that strikeout list with his 5 tonight. 236. Clayton Kershaw at 264. I don't think Scherzer's going to catch him.
To left, it's well hit, and it's over the head of Worth, and it bounces back towards the infield, and Rojas pulls in with a double.
Boy, Miguel Rojas really drove this ball well. He got an excellent pitch to do it on. That arm slot kind of dropped. That slider stayed up in the zone. And Miguel Rojas, I think, surprised, maybe fooled Worth a little bit. The ball got over his head.
Casey McGee, first at bat here against Scherzer. Rojas pointing to both the pitcher and Adam Hamari, the second base umpire. I think he wanted a balk called. Breaking ball, McGee fouls it off. Look out, the bat leaves, the ball leaves. Craig Stammen there to help out. Well, maybe not Craig Stammen, but that is his jersey. Hope everybody's okay.
Thank goodness it found that little area where there were a few empty seats.
Tommy Hutton, I'm still a big fan of the screens down the lines. Behind the dugout, down in the foul territory.
I'm with you.
The fans that are sitting behind home plate right now, you think they're complaining about the screen?
Not at all.
They look pretty comfortable there. 0-2 pitch. Casey McGee in the double switch finds himself right in the thick of it. Of course, he walks right into Max Scherzer. Rojas at second. Well, you got good arms in this outfield too. Harper in right, Speed with Taylor in center, Worth in left.
Scherzer 97 on that last pitch, just crossed over the 100 pitch mark.
One, two. Struck him out. McGee doesn't like it. That's a perfect pitch.
And here it comes. This is a move we've been looking for all night. Matt Williams going to bring in the lefty to face D. Gordon. Just what you wanted.
No, he's staying with him.
That was a quick conversation.
You should have seen the reaction, and we saw it on camera. When Scherzer saw Matt Williams come out of the dugout, he absolutely, watch his reaction.
I don't blame him.
And that, yeah, look at that.
I don't blame him at all.
And it was even more animate when he saw him first step out of the dugout. So it's Gordon and Scherzer. Rojas at second.
You want every one of your pitchers. We see it in Jose. You want every one of your pitchers to have that same attitude.
Breaking ball, ground ball up the middle. Desmond to first in time. Scherzer stays in and gets out of the seventh. Miami leaves another runner in scoring position. Max Scherzer is fired up. It's 2-2 Nationals, Marlins. This has been a fun one tonight in D.C. Marlins and Nationals 2-2. Jose Fernandez, Max Scherzer. Scherzer emotional when he got to the dugout. Certainly he was fired up out on the mound. Chris Narveson taking his warm-up tosses in the bottom of the seventh inning. Got a watch party going on. Jimmy Johnson's big chill. Look at that, Tommy Hunt.
Oh, down to Key Largo. Beautiful.
Got a Jose head there. I bet you Jimmy took the picture. That's why we don't see him in the shot.
Made sure everybody's hair was just right.
Well, we'll see if the momentum carries over. Scherzer, when Matt Williams stepped out of the dugout, went nuts on the mound. When he arrived, you saw his emotional reaction. Maybe that's what Matt Williams was looking for.
Yeah, his initial look, he couldn't believe it. I want it. You can say I got one out. Said something else there too, I think, but I want it was part of it.
There's Scherzer's line. 7 innings, 104 pitches, 5 hits, a couple of runs, 3 walks. And he adds to a strikeout total, now 237 on the season.
This day and age, we're not cultivating enough attitudes like that from pitchers that want to get that last out, to finish the inning.
Someday you might see the manager come out and tell the pitcher, hey, I'm sorry, your agent called and said you can't go any further. Lobatone, the pitcher spot is due up next. Looks like Dan Uggla in the on-deck circle. And it is. And then Anthony Rendon. And Narvis. And this certainly is a real good contrast to what the Nationals have seen all night.
Yeah, a lefty, not overpowering. Remember the off-speed pitch that had Taylor fooled out in front.
How about that? Narvis, 83 mile an hour. Lobatone swings and misses. And here comes Uggla. Kind of an insurance policy in spring training with the injuries that the Nationals had in the spring. Anthony Rendon in particular. Uggla has hung in there all season long.
Boy, the final line on Jose, 5 2/3. 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts for Jose tonight.
There's Rendon, Narvison. If you're a guy like Uggla and you've been sitting around and taking some swings in the last 15 minutes to get yourself loose, would you rather see heat? Would you rather see a crafty lefty?
When you haven't hit in a while, the best thing you want to see is somebody who throws hard. If you see off-speed stuff and breaking balls, that's tough when you haven't hit and had many ABs.
Ball and 2 strikes. 2 runs, 5 hits for Miami. The same for Washington. And what a nice run it was with the Marlins. Uggla's second all-time in Marlin history with 154 homers. Full count, 3-2. 2-1 Mets, 7th inning. At home against the Yankees.
Couple of Met home runs, Lucas Duda and Daniel Murphy.
And down goes Uggla. So Narvison's been brilliant. Remember, he got Taylor with a runner at third and 2 outs. He struck out Lobaton and Uggla here. Closing day is Sunday the 27th. The Pepsi 4 for $74 pack will get you in for the Braves and the Marlins at 110. All fans get a magnetic schedule 2016 courtesy of Miccosukee Resort and Gaming. Closing day festivities. Kids run the bases. Marlins.com. The place to go.
You know, it's amazing, and it's because he's a veteran. Chris Narveson has come in and thrown nothing but strikes. And I mentioned the last time he pitched was about 2 weeks ago, a little less than 2 weeks ago.
Doesn't look like it. Soft tapper. Gordon hustles on over to first in time. 1-2-3. Chris Narveson. 8th inning coming up in D.C. Got a good one here. It's 2-2.
Yeah, things really got started with a bang. A 2-run homer off the bat of Christian Yelich. And quickly the Marlins were up 2-0. Their lead was cut in half. Clint Robinson took Jose deep. Big first baseman. Tied the game. And then some wild pitches got Jose in trouble. That one caused the tying run to come in and score. We told you it'd be a good pitching matchup. Sometimes it doesn't always work that way. But Jose Fernandez and Max Scherzer lived up to the billing tonight. And now the bullpens take over. Felipe Rivero, the left-hander, comes in to work this 8th inning.
Neither starter can win it. Neither starter can lose it. Ichiro, Yelich, Bohr. And Rivero's fastball misses in. And remember, the Marlins playing tonight without Martin Prado. He's probably available if you had to pinch run.
Yeah, but the little tweak in the left wrist is going to prevent him from swinging the bat. Ichiro is 0 for 3.
There's Prado, got a little bit of a brace on that wrist. Bouncer to the left, and he beats it. Ichiro has the hit. Rendon slid, didn't come up with it cleanly, and Ichiro at 41 could still get down the line.
Yeah, Rendon makes a nice play. Comes out of his glove. Well, Ichiro, as he crosses the bag, had to make sure he didn't catch that leg of Clint Robinson, first baseman. See, it's over in foul territory there. He has to kind of turn the other way.
Now Yelich against the lefty.
Ichiro continues to move up on that hit list.
Yeah, he'd hit a little patch of pop-ups and fly ball outs for the last 4 or 5 days. So nice to get a hit. He's also a couple stolen bases away from a milestone. 498 of them. He leads all active players. As far as hits goes now, he's 67 short of 3,000.
Yeah, that was number 2,933.
Yelich almost hit. And it's a ball and a strike, 96 miles an hour on that fastball.
This is the area, Rich, that gave the Nationals all their troubles in that series against the Mets. The bullpen.
Yeah, not the ninth inning. Well, the ninth inning was a problem too. But you're right, 7th, 8th inning. One and two to Yelich. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yelich 2 hits last night. His homer in the first against Scherzer, the only 2 runs for the Marlins. Nationals have a solo shot from Clint Robinson. And they scored a run on a wild pitch. Both those runs against Jose Fernandez. And Yelich strikes out. So an out and a reminder. Flashback Friday. It's brought to you by Jeep. Best vintage photo. Just hashtag it. Flashback Marlins. And just throw it out there on Twitter or Instagram with that hashtag. And now Preston Wilson will get help from the crack staff in judging your photos. The winner on Marlins Live postgame. Justin Bour.
Talked about Justin Bour earlier. 5 career home runs against the Nationals, 4 this year.
And you brought up a good point. In the 18 home runs that Bour has hit, a lot of them have come in big spots. There's not a lot of garbage time homers. There have been game winners, game tiers. Some dagger shots late.
You and I found out something about Justin Bour today that we didn't know, too.
Did not know. Blake Trinan, I thought his dad just liked wearing sunglasses and an earpiece. One is out. Seven of his home runs have come seventh inning or later. Justin Bour's father in the Secret Service. That's right, his dad, the last time we saw him, he had one of those. I'm trying to remember the movie. I believe it was The Great Santini, that Robert Duvall haircut. Bour, that one's into right field. That's a hit. Ichiro around second, headed for third. Up with the ball, Harper. His throw is cut. And Miami's got him at the corners. You've got a 41-year-old testing Harper, the 22-year-old, in right. But Harper had to play deep. I mean, you've got Bour up there, so he's not playing shallow.
Boy, this is just super. Justin Bour continues to have better ABs against lefties. You see Rendon was shaded just a little bit, thinking double play. Bour was able to pull it past him, and Ichiro motors first to third. Didn't really have to pick up third base coach. He knew he had it all the way. The ball was cut off.
Wes Kendall, Toyota, called to the bullpen. It's the 8th. Good game here tonight. Blake Trinan out of the bullpen. And Trinan arrives with runners at the corners. One out. Marcell Ozuna up. Tommy Hutton pointed it out for the Nationals. These late innings down the stretch have not been kind. Ozuna walked, doubled, struck out. Trinan throws 97. But then again, who doesn't these days coming out of a bullpen?
Coming out of bullpens.
Maybe that's why Chris Narveson was so effective in his inning in relief. Tomas Talis That's the pitcher spot behind Ozuna now. Jam shot, slough ground ball. Desmond got one. The turn, not in time, and the Marlins get a run and lead the game. The throw over the head of Robinson. A hard slide at second by Bohr. And I'm sure that had something to do with the wild throw. Let's take a look.
Yeah, this ball wasn't hit hard enough to think about double play. Pretty good slide, but I think Rendon, knowing that the ball wasn't hit sharply, is thinking about just overthrowing, trying to get a double play. Actually throws it away, but no advancement. It is an advancement by Ozuna.
And an E4 for Ozuna to get to second.
But a good job by Marcell to make contact, put the pressure on the defense, and the Marlins were able to capitalize and get the run.
Nationals are going to intentionally walk to Lease, the switch hitter, to get to Real Muto. And while that one is outside, let's check in with Preston Wilson. Press.
Guys, I don't know how far it's going to go to help his case, but in batting practice today, Lenny Harris told Marcell Ozuna, if you're the player of the game today, I'm going to buy you dinner. And then Frank Menachino got in on. He said, I'll split the fee with you. So Marcell Ozuna has a double, and now what's potentially the game-winning RBI. He may have a case.
That's it, and you're right, Preston. He wasn't in that original starting lineup, so the late call, sometimes that's when a player shines, when all of a sudden it's like, hey, you're in there, go get him.
Yeah, you haven't had a chance to think about a lot of stuff.
Now Real Muto, runners first and second, 2 outs. A run across, 3-2, Miami. An 0 for 3 for Real Muto. A ball and a strike. Miami trying to win their 4th straight. 1-2.
Mets have opened it up a little bit. A pinch hit, 2-run homer from Juan Uribe.
That's not a good combination for national fans. The Marlins get a run and the Mets are winning. 1-2's in the dirt, and they count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, 4-1, Mets top 8, and that Yankee Mets series all weekend long at Citi Field. The opener tonight. Ozuna driving in a run with a fielder's choice. Talise at first, and a breaking ball and a good one. Trinan strikes out Real Muto, but Miami gets a run. Now can the bullpen hold a 3-2 lead? Bottom of the 8th. This was a Jose Fernandez start, a Max Scherzer start. Neither will figure in the decision, but certainly Jose Urena will have an impact here as he's out of the pen and into the fire, so to speak.
Yeah, and with the work that we've talked about lately of the bullpen, there are just guys that Dan Jennings doesn't want to go to. So Jose Urena gets the call tonight.
Chuck Hernandez, Dan Jennings, with a cameo by Perry Hill there. And Urena doesn't walk into the easy part of the lineup. You see Hernandez on the phone talking to the Marlins bullpen.
Yeah, Urena with the meat of the order. Escobar, Harper, and Worth.
Escobar tonight is 0 for 3. Fernandez went 5 2/3, 5 hits, 8 strikeouts, walked 2. Chris Narveson with 4 very big outs to go from the last out of the 6th and get 3 outs in the 7th. Escobar always animated at the plate. A liner in the right center. That's a hit.
Always animated and always a guy who has hit the Marlins pretty well in his career, about a .320 clip.
Lazo and McGuff in Miami's pen. And a very fast individual arrives at first base. Trey Turner can really fly. South Florida kid. Harper's up. Turner's at first.
We have seen, Rich, Mike Dunn, Brian Morris 3 nights in a row. Bearclaw and Ellington have worked a lot.
Thus the importance of Urena. Dan Jennings is hopeful he can get him to A.J. Ramos in the 9th, and all of those guys you just named can get a much-deserved night off. Bearclaw had done. Watching McGuff and Lazo warm up. 9 of them in September. And he's sitting on a 2-0 count here.
I was really surprised to read today with Bryce Harper up there. The last National Leaguer to lead the league in home runs and batting average was in 1939. Johnny Mize.
Was it because Bonds never qualified under the average part because of all the walks?
No, because walk counts as a plate appearance. And all you need is 502 plate appearances.
I guess you're right. I would have thought it would have been Bonds. Maybe even Albert Pujols. Well, this isn't starting well for Urena. Chuck Hernandez on his way out. You've got Worth up now.
Well, while that discussion goes on, I'm just looking a couple of times. Barry Bonds, the 2 times he won a batting title, hit 46 home runs one year and 45, but the home runs didn't lead the league in those 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
What years were those?
In 2002, 46 home runs, he hit 370. 2004, he had 45 home runs, hit 362 to lead the league, but the home run total did not lead the league.
Sosa?
Could have been Sosa.
Well, here's Worth. This is a guy the Nationals feel very comfortable with in this spot. He's been hot. He's been getting on base. He had 2 home runs on Wednesday in Philadelphia. Turner at second. Harper at first. You've got great speed out there right now for Washington. And Urania having trouble throwing strikes. There's a strike. After Worth, the left-handed bat of Clint Robinson, then Ian Desmond.
Urania would love to drop one of those 2-seamers in there, get a ground ball for a double play, but he's got to throw strikes.
That is a strike. Two and two. Worth fouls it off his foot. Count stays at 2-2. Ooh, that's off the shin.
Yeah. Well, let's see. He's been hit by a Jose Fernandez pitch, and he has just fouled one off the shin.
Oh. He got him. He struck him out. No fastball there. It looked like a backup slider.
Hey, you hope that gets him back in a groove now. Gets the confidence going. He made a pitch that struck out a big hitter. Let's see if this ball slides away or if it backs up a little bit. Whatever it was, it worked. The rotation isn't that little dot that you like to see with a slider. So it actually was not a very good slider, but it did the job. That's all you want.
Robinson homered in the second, singled in the fourth. Crowd tonight a little larger and a little more boisterous than last night. 27,495. Real Muto, Turner's running, and he's in there. And that's the speed of Trey Turner.
Speed and a terrific jump. Got to make that quick decision. He does. I thought JT played it well, but Turner just outran it. Well, the wild pitch tonight has factored in. 2 wild pitches in that 6th inning. allowed the Nationals to tie the game 2-2.
Now the stakes are higher. And the Marlins are going to walk Robinson to get to Desmond. It does set up the double play, but it also removes the safety net for a young right-hander.
Yeah, it puts a little bit more pressure on Jose Urena with the bases loaded.
And last night we visited the bases loaded career numbers for Ian Desmond, and they were pretty darn impressive. He was up in the high 300s. And of course, Desmond drove in 2 with the bags loaded last night with a hit. Yeah, so now he's over 400. He's at 403.
That base hit last night with bases loaded was against Brian Morris.
Got another right-handed bat in Taylor on deck, but the focal point right now for Urena is Desmond. And he nearly hits him on that pitch. It's 1-0. Will the wild pitches, and there have been 3 of them tonight, will it dissuade Urena from throwing that slider down low?
Well, you hope it doesn't, because you certainly need that pitch.
Desmond center field, not deep. Ozuna's there. Runner tags. Turner coming home. Ozuna's throw is late. And boy, that wild pitch really hurts now.
Well, as I mentioned, the wild pitch is really factored in this game. And it certainly benefits the Nationals here. Ball not hit deep, but we talked about the speed of Trey Turner, and there was no way anybody was going to throw him out.
Look at that man run. In a year's time, I think everybody will know Trey Turner's name around baseball because of that speed. Here's Taylor. Boy, it's amazing the Florida talent we've seen tonight just on this Nationals roster. Taylor, then Decker, Desmond, Turner. Into center. That's a base hit. Harper around third. And he's going to score.
More people are going to start hearing the name Michael A. Taylor as well. Fastball center cut right back through the box. And again, Harper's speed just outruns that.
Dan Jennings coming to get Jose Urena. And the Nationals have come storming back to take a 4-3 lead. West Kendall Toyota called to the pen. has given up a couple. And the Nationals still have runners first and second. Bottom 8. Nationals in desperation mode. They are 8 back, 16 to play. The Mets leading right now at home against the Yankees 4-1 late in that one. Dan Jennings, who, as Tommy pointed out, used a variety of relievers last night. Remember, after 7, Brian Ellington, Mike Dunn, Brian Morris.
4 pitchers in that 8th inning.
A.J. Ramos had to get that last out. Left field, Yelich. Lobaton, a fly ball out. But the Marlins are down a run and suddenly down to their last 3 outs. Honda dealers and by Kubota. For more information or to find a participating dealer, go to FloridaKubota.dealers.com. 4-3 Washington. 2 in the bottom of the 8th, and that means the Nationals can turn it over to their closer, and that would be Jonathan Papelbon. You see, he's blown just 1 save. That was the other night when Freddie Galvis hit a game-tying home run in the 9th, much to the delight of everyone in Philadelphia. Papelbon, not a popular figure there at the end of his run.
Oddly enough, he was in that game when the Nationals scored, so he blew the save, but he got the win. Trey Turner, who pinch ran, stays in the game at second, and that moves Rendon over to third.
And for Miami now, Miguel Rojas, Casey McGee, D. Gordon.
You know, I was just looking quickly with Papelbon coming in. Reputation and persona is so much in this game. And you think about Papelbon and the number of saves he's gotten this year.
That's a fair ball, and it's down the line. It gets down the side. On his way to second is Rojas. Strong throw is over everyone's head, and it rolls down left field. And Rojas is headed for third. He'll stop there. Wow! Harper's throw over everyone's head. Rojas almost scored. And just like that, Miami has the tying run 90 feet away with nobody out.
Sometimes when you have the kind of arm Harper has, you get a little greedy. It's a tough play down there. I don't think he had a play at second, but he tried to make a play and force a play by doing that. He overthrew everybody, and Rojas was able to get to third. So a double and then a throwing error allowing Rojas to get to third. Great job, his second double tonight.
McGee, infield in. Fastball, a strike.
My quick point, A.J. Ramos's numbers this year across the board, much, much better than Jonathan Papelbon.
Other than the saves.
A.J. has more saves.
Right, but saves and save opportunities.
Opponents hitting 184 against A.J. in the 200s against Papelbon.
Pop up. And into the seats.
236 against Papelbon.
That's a good point.
So, it's so much about persona and reputation. And when it's somebody else's guy, as far as your guy, they've each given up 6 home runs on the year.
Yeah, McGee wasn't going to let that fastball get by him.
Boy, Casey's with his struggles mainly because he just hasn't had a whole lot of opportunities. But it seems like every time he gets up there quickly, it's 0-2 or 1-2.
Struck him out.
And that was a pretty good pitch to hit.
It's one of the hard things about Papelbon when you identify that ball down in that area. If it's a split, if it's that change and it's dropping out, you're not going to hit it. You take it, and it turns out to be a fastball. Now Gordon swinging at a high fastball, and Papelbon looking for a punch out. Miami needs some contact here. Gordon trying to drive in the tying run. The infield is in. There is 1 out in the 9th. One for 4 is Gordon.
There's the split. Roy D has chased a couple pitches. That last one not an easy one to lay off of, though. There's the grip on the split finger, and the bottom falls out of it.
Gordon hits that ball center, not too deep. Rojas tags. Taylor has it. Here comes Rojas. Here comes a throw. It's high. It's tied. Rojas scores. Gordon drives in the run, and it's 4-4.
A couple of high throws have helped the Marlins in this inning. This is a good ball game, Rich. The high throw from Harper allowed Rojas to get to third. It would have been close. I don't know if Taylor would have gotten him, but he has a strong arm. We've talked about the outfield arms. It'd have been close, but over the head of Lobaton. A great job by D. Gordon, who chased a couple of pitches, but was able to get the sac fly deep enough. So another blown save for Papelbon.
Yeah, this crowd who was on the edge of their seat when the Nationals tied it and took the lead and then exploded Papelbon comes in. The throwing error by Harper obviously huge. I think as well, they take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard and they see the Mets up 5-1 in the 9th inning over the Yankees. Papelbon thought he had a strikeout, started towards the exit. And it was in.
And the Mets brought out the home run bats: Duda, Murphy, Uribe.
Ichiro strikes out. But Miami ties the game. D. Gordon sac fly scores Miguel Rojas to the bottom of the 9th. Reached third when Harper's throw sailed over everyone's head. Scores on the Gordon sac fly. And now the Marlins have to lean on some young arms. Jose Urena in that 8th inning gave up a couple runs. Rodel Lazo got the last out. We talked about the extensive workload of some key arms down in that pen. Bearclaw, Morris, Ellington.
I think a lot of that happened in that 8th inning last night. Had, let's say, Brian Ellington had himself a 1-2-3 inning. You're looking at a little different story tonight.
Carter Cap still unavailable. Wilson Ramos. Love that Wilson chant. Rendon and Turner scheduled as well here in the 9th. That one fouled out of play. Rodel Lazo made his major league debut against the Mets on the 5th of September. "26 games in the minors this year, an ERA of under 2. And his breaking ball is up. Tommy John surgery. That last season. And a guy that came over came to the Marlins as a youngster.
The thing I love about Lazo, he goes out there with no fear. And he goes right after hitters, get that good little change up.
Deep in the hole. Rojas, big throw. Gets Ramos. He had to gun it, but he had the catcher.
I'll tell you what, Miguel Rojas is having quite a game tonight. Offensively, defensively. He also realizes when he straightens up to make that throw that Ramos is the guy who hit it. And he knows that he doesn't run well. So he didn't panic.
Here is Rendon, who is 0 for 4. And a breaking ball from Lazo. Lazo out of Cuba. It's 26. Bryce Harper probably still thinking about that throw from right field.
There's that changeup that just missed. Not by much.
Slowly hit. Rojas on the run. And his busy night continues. And Rodel Lazo has a couple outs here in the 9th inning.
Saw a shot there, the Nationals dugout. Ryan Zimmerman. An oblique injury. Marlins don't have to worry about dealing with his bat that has got so many huge base hits over the years against the Marlins.
Trey Turner into left. And the Nationals, with 2 outs, have the winning run at first. Now he's a guy that can steal a bag, and so this should be cat and mouse between Lazo and Turner.
You know, for Lazo, in his little over 3 innings that he's worked, that's the first hit he's given up in the major leagues.
Well, I mean, if you worry too much about Turner, Harper can hurt you at the plate. Breaking ball line to right. Ichiro is there. Extra innings tonight in D.C. Back and forth they've gone, the Nationals and the Marlins. A Scherzer-Fernandez start has turned into a 4-4 inning to the 10th. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side. 4-4 in D.C. Top 10. Now the Nationals have used their closer, Jonathan Papelbon. He blew a save in the ninth. Matt Thornton is on. Thornton, who pitched in last night's game. He'll take over. 4 big outs from rookie Rodell Lazo. And now Thornton gets Yelich, Bohr. Ozuna's up third. There's a right-hander in Washington's pen. Mets still trying to finish off the Yankees. 5-1 in the ninth. Juris Familia's in. Yankees with 2 outs have the bags loaded. At stake here, the Nationals are desperate. 16 games left. They're 8 back of the Mets. If the Mets win the game, it goes to 8.5. If the Marlins then win, it's 9 with 15 to play, which means it's just about over. Two and 2. Long ago, in an inning far, far away, Max Scherzer and Jose Fernandez took the mound as aces. Both had good stuff.
They did not disappoint.
No, both gave up home runs, but both took control of the game once they got settled in. Scherzer struck out 6. Jose struck out 8. Yelich, a hot smash, and it bounces out of the glove of Rendon. It's going to be a base hit for Yelich. Miami's got their leadoff hitter aboard here in the 10th.
Well, that's a good job. Thornton just kept picking away at that outside part of the plate. Stayed there, and Yelich just took it. Rendon's a good third baseman. Surprised he didn't pick that ball. But Yelich gets the base hit. Second hit.
Not a big lead for Yelich. Now it's Bohr.
Bohr got a big single off Rivero, the left-hander, in the 8th inning.
How about Tony?
A ball and a strike. Bohr floats that one into shallow right. Out to get it is Turner.
Turner showing off a little bit of his speed and quickness to chase that one down.
Matt Williams on his way out. He's going to go to the bullpen. Remember, the Nationals only have 14 relievers at their disposal.
If it comes down to a numbers game, the Marlins should just walk off the field now because they ain't going to win.
Wes Kendall Toyota called to the bullpen. Tomorrow afternoon, remember, it's a 3:30 start for Marlins Live at 4 o'clock first pitch. Justin Nicolino, Jordan Zimmerman. Those are the starting pitchers. We hope you'll be with us. That will be game 3 of what is a 4-game weekend series. Ozuna to face Casey Janssen. He flips up a strike. 8 major league seasons for the veteran Janssen. Very much a command pitcher. Yelich at first. Two outs.
We were talking, Rich, about the numbers in the bullpens.
Marlins on the left, Nationals on the right.
Yeah, there's a good look.
And look, the Nationals actually ran out of room. They had to use double names, double guys up. It's like, hey, this is the big leagues. You're supposed to have your own room.
Don, double up on this trip. Of course, one of those names, Drew Storen. We're not going to see him.
It's true. Out for the year. Apparently punched his locker in anger. That was after a Yoenis Cespedes home run, I believe.
Yes. Cole Gillespie getting the pinch hit at bat for Rodell Lazo. What a nice job Lazo did.
Time called as Jansen started towards home. Playing time for Gillespie and Casey McGee has been scarce of late. I think the Marlins have, certainly with Dietrich getting a lot of time. There goes Yelich. Pitch is down, and Yelich is going to be called out. Yelich out at second base. You would think the Marlins will look at it. It was close. First look for us. Looks like he's out. Looks like the glove got to his foot before the foot got to the bag. That from that angle. The Marlins video room will look at multiple angles of Lobaton. Has thrown him out. Thus ends the top of the 10th. 4-4 in extras in DC.
Well, it's perfect.
runners, and Yelich out at second base. Now, the Marlins were down a run in the top of the ninth. Miguel Rojas with a double, an airmail throw. Rojas went as far as third with 1 out and 2 strikes against Jonathan Papelbon. D. Gordon, a fly ball to center, and Rojas can roar it home. Actually, a better throw may have had him at the plate.
That'd have been close.
A Randai vision camera. Now Brian Ellington. Ellington misses in to Jason Worth with Clint Robinson, Ian Desmond, and Michael Taylor.
Remember in that 8th inning last night, it was Ellington that started, gave up a single to Rendon, got an out, got Escobar to hit a fly ball, and then Dan Jennings went to the bullpen.
Worth to right center. To the wall it goes. And Jason Worth has doubled.
Jason Worth has always had good power the opposite field. Pitch about middle. Drives that on a short hop to right center.
Marlins will walk Clint Robinson intentionally. Ian Desmond, Michael Taylor, the Mets have won, so their lead temporarily is 8.5 games. The Nationals cannot pick up ground tonight. They can only lose ground. Desmond with nobody out. Ellington wants to talk to Real Muto. Desmond drove in 4 last night. This one pops out of the glove of Real Muto. They're at the corners now.
I don't know if this would be ruled a wild pitch or a pass ball, but either way, it's just not been a night for the Marlins in that department. It's going to be a pass ball. Reaching for it is JT. It's off his catcher's mitt. And it creates a tougher scenario.
Realmuto in his rookie season with 11 pass balls. Marlins infield is in. They'll probably give second to Robinson if he wants to run. And Ellington just rears back and blows 97 by Desmond.
He reared back and Desmond reared back with his swing. Desmond was able to get one of those runners in from third with less than 2 out in the 8th inning.
One thing that Desmond has done a lot of this year is strike out. 2 of them tonight. $171 of them on the season. 1-2. A rare breaking ball.
This has been a tough team at home all year. The Nationals have played much better at home than on the road.
Marlins Live brought to you by Checkers. Coming up after the game. 2-2. Little tapper. Ellington looks, got him out at second, but he throws the first. For whatever reason, Robinson didn't run.
I have no idea what he was thinking at first base.
Robinson held first. Watch this.
He's just standing there. He actually takes a step back to the bag.
Now, in Ellington's defense, there was nobody at second right away. Had he waited, he still could have gotten the out, but you don't expect a runner at first not to run.
It does set up this situation. And it would have made for a tougher throw for Ellington going to second as opposed to first. So
true.
You look at it that way.
I think the surprise in my voice was that the runner didn't run.
Yeah.
So Brian Ellington intentionally walking Taylor. Remember, Taylor had the RBI hit in the 8th when the Nationals took a 4-3 lead. His was the go-ahead RBI. So now with 1 out, Nationals catcher Jose Lobaton is up. In the air, left center. It's Yelich. Runner tags, work on his way. Yelich is thrown to the plate. He's safe with a slide. Gets to the plate. The throw beat him, but it was a tough, short hop for Realmuto. You can see Worth has what looks like a gash above his right eye. And the Nationals win it in walk-off fashion. 5-4 the final. Jose Lobaton with a sacrifice fly. It's a pretty good effort from Christian Yelich in left field.
Yeah, it was. We've seen Christian Yelich, who gets rid of the ball quickly and has a very accurate throwing arm. He surrounds this pretty well, gets a good throw off, and the unfortunate thing, it was a little bit of a short hop. And when you have that catcher's mitt and all that gear on, that's a tough play for any catcher. Worth knew it was going to be close. And just like that. But keep in mind that pass ball set things up in this inning, too.
You can see where Worth got that gash above his eye. Oof. As we called it, he wasn't safe until he got back to the plate.
He knew it, too.
Shades of Matt Holliday as a Rocky in that one-game play-in against the Padres. Lobaton, the winner. But the Mets win, so the Nationals gain no ground. They do get a win.